Sit properly. Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Rama Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री साधि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Sit properly. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram.
कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Matais. Lando Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Let us begin with Mangalacharana prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita today, from Adi Leela, chapter 9. Yeah. We read up to 8, chapter 8. The author receives the orders of Guru, of Krishna and Guru. Now today, from 9th chapter, we'll read. Yeah. Chapter 9, the desired way of devotional service. Samyukta Matai, please start.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Chapter 9, the desired way of devotional service. A summary of chapter 9 has been given as follows by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura in his Amrita Pravaha Bhashya. In this chapter, the author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita has devised a figurative example by describing the desired way of bhakti. He considers Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is known as Vishwambara, to be the gardener of this tree, because he is the main personality who has taken charge of it. As the supreme enjoyer, he enjoyed the fruits himself and distributed them as well. The seed of the tree was first sown in Navadvipa, the birth site of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then the tree was brought to the Purushottama Kshetra, Jagannatha Puri, and then to Vrindavan. The seed fructified first in Srila Madhavendra Puri and then in his disciple Sri Ishvara Puri. It is figuratively described that both the tree itself and the trunk of the tree are Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Paramananda Puri and 8 other great sannyasis are like the spreading roots of the tree. From the main trunk, they extend to special branches, Advaita Prabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu. And from those branches grow other branches and twigs. The tree surrounds the entire world and the fruits of the tree are to be distributed to everyone. In this way, the tree of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu intoxicates the entire world. It should be noted that this is a figurative example meant to explain the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Lalit Mohan Prabhu, please read.
Translation. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the spiritual master of the entire world, Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by whose mercy even a dog can swim across a great ocean. Purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Sometimes it is to be seen that a dog can swim in water for a few yards and then come back to the shore. Here, however, it is stated that if a dog is blessed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he can swim across an ocean. Similarly, the author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraja Goswami, placing himself in a helpless condition, states that he has no personal power, but by the desire of Lord Chaitanya, expressed through the Vaishnavas and Madana Mohana Vigraha, it is possible for him to cross a transcendental ocean to present Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, Deepa Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Thandot Pranam.
Yeah.
Translation. All glories to Sri Krishna Chaitanya, who is known as Gaura Hari. All glories to Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu. All glories to the devotees of Lord Chaitanya headed by Srivas Thakura. In order to fulfill all my desires, I remember their lotus feet. The author here continues to follow the same principles of worship of the Panchatattva that were described in the 7th chapter of the Adi Lila. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. I also remember the 6 Goswamis, Rupa, Sanatana, Bhatta, Raghunatha, Sri Jiva, Gopal Bhatta, and Dasa Raghunatha. This is the process for writing transcendental literature. A sentimentalist who has no Vaishnava qualifications cannot produce transcendental writings. There are many fools who consider Krishna Leela to be subject of art and who write or paint pictures about the pastimes of Lord Krishna with the gopis, sometimes depicting them in a manner practically obscene. These fools take pleasure in material sense gratification, but one who wants to make advancement in spiritual life must scrupulously avoid their literature. Unless one is a servant of Krishna and the Vaishnavas, as Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami presents himself to be in offering respects to Lord Chaitanya, his associates, and his disciples, one should not attempt to write transcendental literature. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Raj Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanot Pranam.
Dhanot.
Translation. It is by the mercy of all the Vaishnavas and Gurus that I attempt to write about the pastimes and qualities of the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Whether I know it or not, it is for self-purification that I write this book. Purport. This is the sum and substance of transcendental writing. One must be authorized Vaishnava, humble and pure. One should write transcendental literature to purify oneself, not for credit. By writing about the pastimes of the Lord, one associates with the Lord directly. One should not ambitiously think, I shall become a great author. I shall be clear as a writer. These are material. I shall be celebrated as a writer. These are the material desires. One should attempt to write for self-purification. It may be published or it may not be published, but that does not matter. If one is actually sincere in writing, all his ambitions will be fulfilled. Whether one is known as a great author is incidental. One should not attempt to write transcendental literature for material name and fame. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah. Let me read. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. I take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who himself is the tree of transcendental love of Krishna, its gardener and also the bestower and enjoyer of its fruits. Lord Chaitanya thought, my name is Vishwambara, one who maintains the entire universe. Its meaning will be actualized if I can fill the whole universe with love of Godhead. Thinking in this way, he accepted the duty of planter and began to grow a garden in Navadvipa. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thus the Lord brought the desired tree of devotional service to this earth and became its gardener. He sowed the seed and sprinkled upon it the water of his will. Purport. In many places, devotional service has been compared to a creeper. One has to sow the seed of the devotional creeper, Bhaktilata, within his heart, as he regularly hears and chants. The seed will fructify and gradually grow into a mature plant, and then produce the fruit of devotional service, namely love of God, which the gardener Malakara can then enjoy without impediments. Hare Krishna. Yeah. Again, Mataji, Samyukta Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. All glories to Sri Madhavendra Puri, the storehouse of all devotional service unto Krishna. He is a desiree of devotional service, and it is in him that the seed of devotional service first fructified. Purport. Sri Madhavendra Puri, also known as Sri Madhava Puri, belonged to the disciplic succession from Madhavacharya and was a greatly celebrated sannyasi. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the third disciplic descendant from Sri Madhavendra Puri. The process of worship in the disciplic succession of Madhavacharya was full of ritualistic ceremonies, with hardly a sign of love of Godhead. Sri Madhavendra Puri was the first person in the disciplic succession to exhibit the symptoms of love of Godhead, and the first to write a poem beginning with the words Aidina Dayardra Nadha, O supremely merciful personality of Godhead. In that poem is the seed of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's cultivation of love of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Bhagavad. Yeah. Digga Mataji.
The seed of devotional service next fructified in form of Ishwara Puri. And then the gardener himself, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, became the main trunk of the tree of devotional service. Purport. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura writes in his Anubhashya, Sri Ishwara Puri was a resident of Kumarahatta, where there is now a railroad station known as Kamarhatta. One second. Nearby, there is another station named Halisahara, which belongs to the Eastern Railway. This railway runs from the eastern section of Calcutta. Ishwara Puri appeared in a Brahmana family and was the most beloved disciple of Srila Madhavendra Puri. In the last portion of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya 8.28 to 31, it is stated, ईश्वरपुरी को शानी करे श्रीपाद सेवाना स्वहस्ते करे न मलमूत्रादि मार्जना निरंतर कृष्ण नाम कराय स्मरण कृष्ण नाम कृष्ण लीला शुनय अनुक्षाना तुष्टः न पुरी तांड्रे कैलालिंगाना वरदिला कृष्ण कृष्णे तुम्हारा हाउ का प्रेम धाना से है तेश्वर पुरी प्रेमेरा सागरा. At the last stage, sorry Prabhuji, edoste I'll padisenu.
Correct. Yes, Mataji.
At the last stage of his life, Sri Madhavendra Puri became an invalid and was completely unable to move, and Ishwara Puri so completely engaged himself in his service that he personally cleaned up his stool and urine, always chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and reminding Sri Madhavendra Puri about the pastimes of Lord Krishna in the last stages of his life. Ishwara Puri gave the best service among his disciples. Thus Madhavendra Puri, being very pleased with him, blessed him, saying, "My dear boy, I can only pray to Krishna that he will be pleased with you." Thus, Ishwara Puri, by the grace of his spiritual master, Sri Madhavendra Puri, became a great devotee in the ocean of love of Godhead. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti states in his Guru Ashtaka prayer, Yasya prasadad bhagavat prasado, Yasya prasadad nagati kuto api. By the mercy of the spiritual master, one is blessed by the mercy of Krishna. Without the grace of the spiritual master, one cannot make any advancement. It is by the mercy of the spiritual master that one becomes perfect, as vividly exemplified here. A Vaishnava is always by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but if he appears to be an invalid, this gives a chance to his disciples to serve him. Ishwara Puri pleased his spiritual master by service, and by the blessings of his spiritual master, he became such a great personality that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted him as his spiritual master. Continue, Chaitanya.
Completely.
Srila Ishwara Puri was the spiritual master of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but before initiating Lord Chaitanya, he went to Navadvipa and lived for a few months in the house of Gopinath Acharya. At that time, Lord Chaitanya became acquainted with him, and it is understood that he served Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by reciting his book, Krishna Leelamrita. This is explained in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata, Adi Khanda, chapter 11. To teach others by example how to be a faithful disciple of one spiritual master, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, visited the birthplace of Ishwarapuri at Kumarahatta and collected some earth from his birth site. He kept very carefully and he used to eat a small portion of it daily. This is stated in the Chaitanya Bhagavata Adi Khanda, chapter 17. It has now become customary for devotees following the example of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to go there and collect some earth from that place. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Lalit Mahaprabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Translation: By his inconceivable powers, the Lord became the gardener, the trunk, and the branches simultaneously.
Yeah, I can go. Read also this one also.
Yes, Prabhuji. Paramanandapuri, Keshava Bharati, Brahmanandapuri, and Brahmananda Bharati. Sri Vishnupuri, Keshavapuri, Krishnanandapuri, Sri Nrsimha Tirtha, and Sukhanandapuri. These 9 sannyasi roots all sprouted from the trunk of the tree. Thus, the tree stood steadfast on the strength of these 9 roots. Paramanandapuri. Paramanandapuri belonged to a Brahmana family of the Trihut district in Uttar Pradesh. Madhavendrapuri was his spiritual master. In relationship with Madhavendrapuri, Paramanandapuri was very dear to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In Chaitanya Bhagavata, Antyakhanda, there is the following statement. Sanyasira madhye ishwar re priya patra, ara nahi eka puri gusani se matra. Damodara Swarupa Paramananda Puri Sanyasi Parshade Ye Dui Adhikari Niravadhi Nikate Takena Dui Jana Prabhura Sanyase Kare Dandera Grahana Puri Dhyana Paradamodera Puri dhyana para damodharera kirtana yati priti ishwarera puri gosanire damodara swaruperiyo tata priti damodara swaruperiyo tata priti kare. Hare Krishna. Among his sannyasi disciples, Ishwarpuri and Paramanandapuri were very dear to Madhavendrapuri. Thus, Paramanandapuri, like Svarupa Damodara, who was also a sannyasi, was very dear to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and was his constant associate. When Lord Chaitanya accepted the renounced order, Paramanandapuri offered him the danda. Paramanandapuri was always engaged in meditation, and Sri Svarupa was always engaged in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered full respect to his spiritual master, Ishwarapuri, he similarly respected Paramanandapuri and Swarupa Damodara. It is described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antyakhanda, chapter 3, that when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first saw Paramanandapuri, he made the following statements. Aji dhyana lochana sapala aji jana. Aji dhanya lochana safala aji janma. Safala amara aji haila sarva dharma. Prabhu bale aji mora safala sannyasa aji madhavendra more haila prakasha. My eyes, my mind, my religious activities, and my acceptance of sannyasa order have now all become perfect because today Madhavendra Puri is manifest before me in the form of Paramananda Puri. The Chaitanya Bhagavata further states, Prabhuji, should I continue or someone else will go? Please take it forward. First, I see this very big one.
Yes, this one, yeah. Chandramal Prabhu just joined. If I want to go ahead.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
అదే ట్యూన్ లో వాడాలి మరి. ఓకే ప్రభు.
ఓ మీరు కానీ ప్రభుజీ
కానీ చేయండి ఎట్లా చేయండి. ఓకే చేయండి ప్రభు, ఏం కాదు, మామూలుగా చెప్పండి.
మీరు అదే టోన్ అనేప్పటికీ నోరే తరలేకపోతున్నాను. ఒక 1 minute. కతుక్సానే అన్యో న్యే కరేన ప్రణామ Paramananda Put Chaitanyera Priyadama. Thus, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exchanged respectful obeisances with Paramananda Puri, was very dear to him. Paramananda Puri established a small monastery behind the western side of the Jagannatha temple, where he had a well dug to supply water. The water, however, was bitter, and therefore Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu prayed to Lord Jagannatha to allow Ganges water to come into the well to make it sweet. When Lord Jagannatha granted the request, Lord Chaitanya told all the devotees that from that day on, the water of Paramananda Puri's well should be celebrated as Ganges water. For any devotee who would drink it or bath in it would certainly get the same benefit at the derived from drinking or bathing in the waters of the Ganges. Such a person would certainly develop pure love of Godhead. It is stated in the Chaitanya Bhagavata, Antya 3.255. Prabhu Bale Amiye Achiye Pratvate Nichaya Janiha Puri Gosanira Prate. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to say, I am living in this world only on account of excellent behavior of Sri Paramananda Puri. The Gaura Ganodesha Deepika 118 states, Puri Sri Paramanando ya Asid Uddhava Pura. Paramananda Puri is none other than Uddhava. Uddhava was Lord Krishna's friend and cousin. And in Chaitanya Leela, the same Uddhava became the friend of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his uncle in terms of their relationship in the disciplic section.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Raju Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Keshava Bharati. The Saraswati Bharati and Puri Sampradayas belongs to the Sringeri Mata in South India. And Sri Keshava Bharati, who at the time was situated in the monastery in Katwa, belonged to Bharati Sampradaya. According to some authoritative options, although Keshava Bharati belonged to the Shankara Sampradaya, he had formerly been initiated by a Vaishnava. He is said to have been a Vaishnava on account of having been initiated by Madhavendra Puri. For some say that he took sannyasa from Madhavendra Puri. The temple and deity worship started by Keshava Bharati are until existing in the village known as Katundi, which is under the postal jurisdiction of Kandara in the district of Burdwan. According to the managers of that Mata, the priests are descendants of Keshava Bharati, and some say that the worshippers of the deity are descendants of the son of Keshava Bharati. In his householder life, he had two sons, Nishpati and Ushapati, and a Brahmana of name Sri Nakadi Chandra Vidyaratna, who was a member of family of Nishapati, was a priest in the church at the time of Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati visited this temple. According to the priest of temple belonged to the family of Keshava Bharati's brother. Still, another option is that they descended from Madhava Bharati, who was another disciple of Keshava Bharati's. Madhava Bharati's disciple Balabhadra, who also later became a sannyasi of Bharati Sampradaya, had two sons in family named Madana and Gopala. Madana, whose family surname was Bharati, lived in the village of Auriya, and Gopala, whose family surname was Brahmachari. Brahmachari lived in the village of Denduda. There are still many living descendants of both families. In the Gaura Ganodesha Deepika 52, it is stated that Madhuryam Gnana Sutram Pura Madhuryam Yagna Sutram Pura Krishnaya Yo Muniha Dadau Sandipani so Budi so Bud Adya Keshava Bharati. Can I stop here?
ఇది చదవండి దాని మీనింగ్.
Okay. Sandipani Muni, who formerly offered to sacred thread to Krishna and Balrama, later become Keshava Bharati. It is the who offered sannyasa to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There another statement about Keshava Bharati from the Gaura Ganodesha Deepika. Iti Kichit Prabhasante Kura Keshava Bharati. According to some authoritative options, Keshava Bharati is the Keshava incarnation of Akura. Keshava Bharati offered sannyasa to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the year 1432 Shakabda AD 1510 in Katwa. This is stated in the Vaishnava Manjusha part 2. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Different books. Prabhupada quoting from different books. Gaura Ganodesha Deepika, Manjusha, and different Sampradaya.
Prabhuji, Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji Guru is a Keshava caste, like Keshava Bharati Prabhuji.
Ishwarapuri.
Ishwarapuri.
Yes,
But
Ishwarapuri's Guru is Madhavendra Puri.
Okay, Ishwarapuri.
Madhavendra Puri's Guru is from Madhva Sampradaya again.
Okay.
Actually, Madhavendra Puri is the one who brought Madhva Sampradaya to Gaudiya Desha, means to the north.
Okay.
So from there, the whole Sampradaya name differs. Then it becomes Gaudiya, Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, what we are following now.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Madhavendra Puri actually changed it according to the time, place, circumstance. So
Okay.
he changed many of this, what you say, he personally is a pure love, what you say, he's very much interested into the loving exchanges of the God than to the ritualistic exchanges of the God. So అందుకనే ఆయనకి యాక్చువల్లీ గోవర్ధన్ దగ్గర చిన్న గోపాల్ కనపడతాను అనమాట. Yes, Prabhuji. Okay. Prabhu, I'm sorry, I'm just what to say, crossing my lines, but I wanted to share this, because Madhavendra Puri is the one who, because of whom we have that loving exchanges, and he personally used to sing many glories of Krishna and Vrajbhumi Vrajakanyas, like our gopis and all. That is the very highest this thing, but in our Sampradaya, all these things has come because of Madhavendra Puri only. And you see, Prabhuji, all his disciples, like Puri, and he himself, his name is also Puri. This Puri, Bharati, and what is it, Sagara, all these are all actually sannyasi titles of impersonalists of Shankaracharya. They are not Vaishnava, this thing, what is it, Vaishnava headings. Actually, this Sringeri Mat, they have 8, what is it, 8 headings under whom they call this sannyasis. One type of sannyasis they call them as Puri, and the other kind of sannyasis they call them as what is it, Sagara. And the other side, other group of disciples they call as Giri. So all this you see, and Bharati, one more this one, like they have 8 what is say headings under whom they call all these sannyasis. Like we are given as dasana, like they are given as under these 8 categories, names under these 8 categories. Now all these sannyasis are generally from Sringeri Mat, or they got inspired from there initially, and later on when they come to the Madhavendra Puri's fold, they became the disciples of Madhavendra Puri. That's what his charm is actually. He's a very simple devotee, Prabhuji, Madhavendra Puri. And we have in Vrindavan, while we do parikrama, that Govardhan parikrama,
yes,
there is one kund named as Govind Kund. Just beside Govind Kund, he does his meditation there when he comes to Vrindavan. And from there only, he will get the darshan of Lord Krishna. And, after coming into his dream, he tells that I am beside that bush over there lying from Vajranabha's time. Please take me up. So that is how that Gopala has come. Now the deity of Gopala is there still in Govardhan. And that Swam Gopala has been taken away to Nathdwara during the Muslim raids. So what we see in Nathdwara, that what you say, anyone been to Nathdwara in Rajasthan? he will have no a small Gopal will be Srinathji. Like, have you seen the deities of Srinathji?
Yes,
The
yes.
Srinathji deity is the Gopala deity which has been recovered by Madhavendra Puri, which is in Nadwara right now. So many things happened because of Madhavendra Puri only actually. He is the one, the course changer of all our sampradaya, it is said.
So Gaudiya Vaishnava, he is the source, right? Prabhuji? Gaudiya Vaishnava.
Yeah, in Gaudiya means the same
Gaudiya.
Vaishnavism which has been followed in the, what to say, Madhva has been adopted into the Gaudiya land by this, sannyasi.
Yeah, I understand. This
This
Keshav
Acharya.
Bharat, Keshav Bharat కి ఇప్పుడు వీళ్ళకి మాధవేంద్ర పురి ఈశ్వరపురికి వాళ్ళకి అంటే వాళ్ళకి ఏం లింక్ లేదా
This Paramananda Puri, Keshav Bharati, all this Brahmanand Bharati, all these are actually, they themselves think that we are disciples of Madhavendra Puri, but Madhavendra Puri, out of his humility, don't accept them as their disciples, but their colleagues or friends.
Okay, okay. Okay,
Giriraj
fine.
Prabhu, I'm sorry, I'm taking over. I'm sorry, Prabhuji. You can go ahead now.
నో ప్రభుజీ, యాక్చువల్లీ చైతన్య చరితం చదువుతున్న ప్రతిసారి కన్ఫ్యూజన్ ఉంటుంది ప్రభుజీ. అంటే ఈ నేమ్స్ కేశవ భారతి, కేశవ కాశ్మీరి, లైక్ ఈశ్వరపురి, మాధవేంద్రపురి, అసలు ఎవ్రీ టైం కన్ఫ్యూజన్ ఉంటుంది. అందుకోసమే మళ్ళీ
కన్ఫ్యూజన్ ఉంటుంది, నాకు కూడా ఉంటుంది ప్రభు.
నాకు తెలుసు ప్రభుజీ, ఈశ్వరపురి ఈజ్ ద గురు ఆఫ్ లార్డ్ చైతన్య మహాప్రభు. బట్ హియర్ ఇట్ మెన్షన్ దట్ Sandipani Muni is formally offered as a scared threat of like Balarama, later became a Keshav Bharati. So like this is the same, Keshav Bharati is the incarnation of Sandipani Muni, Prabhuji. It's this
Yes, Prabhuji. Gaura Ganodesha Deepika, na? There is a book known as Gaura Ganodesha Deepika, which says that who is the incarnation of whom. In Dwapar Yuga, the same batch has come as Navadvipa has different incarnations. Because Prabhuji, whenever you say that there is an incarnation, you cannot just say that the Kalki has come, Amma Bhagavan has come. You cannot say like that, Prabhuji. There should be a complete set of people who will always come. It's not that you can say that Lord has incarnated like this. No, it never happens like that, Prabhuji.
He will come with his
has a set of
associates
people.
like
Yes.
yeah.
So the Gaura Ganodesha Deepika is the one which actually describes all these things.
Yeah, I understand, Prabhuji. He never come alone. God never comes.
Yes, Prabhuji. Because first, Anantshesh comes and he purifies everything, and then Krishna comes. That is the reason why even that Prishni Garbha, like what we say that mother Devakis, in the Devaki's womb, first Anantshesh comes, like Balram comes first, and then he transfers to other womb, like Rohini's womb. First he purifies it, and then the Krishna comes. That is how he comes actually every time. And here also first all this associate comes.
Yeah,
they will make a pure land fertile, and then he comes.
Understand. Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, we are here, right? Let me read. Brahmananda Puri. Sri Brahmananda Puri was one of the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu while he was performing Kirtana in Navadvipa, and he also joined Lord Chaitanya in Jagannath Puri. We may note in this connection that the name Brahmananda is accepted not only by Mayavadi sannyasis but by Vaishnava sannyasis also. One of our foolish god brothers criticized our sannyasi Brahmananda Swami, saying that this was a Mayavadi name. The foolish man did not know that Brahmananda does not always refer to the impersonal Brahman. Parabrahman, the supreme Brahman, is Krishna. A devotee of Krishna can therefore also be called Brahmananda. This is evident from the fact that Brahmananda Puri was one of the chief sannyasi associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Brahmananda Bharati went to see Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Dhama. At that time, he used to wear only a deer skin to cover himself. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu indirectly indicated that he did not like this deer skin covering. Brahmananda Bharati therefore gave it up and accepted a lion cloth of saffron color as used by Vaishnava sannyasis. For some time, he lived with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri. Yeah, we'll read some more verses. Yeah. Chandravel Prabhu, please read.
Yeah. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. With the sober and grave Paramananda Puri as the central root and the other 8 roots in the 8 directions. The tree of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stood firmly. From the trunk grew many branches, and above them innumerable others. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thus, the branches of the Chaitanya tree formed a cluster or society with great branches covering all the universe. Purport. Our International Society for Krishna Consciousness is one of the branches of the Chaitanya tree. Nicely explained.
సో హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ. సో ఇప్పుడు మీరు చెప్పిన 8 బ్రాంచెస్ 8 భారతి పురి అవేనా ప్రభుజీ?
No.
మరి
Those are the
ఏంటి?
sannyasi headings of Sringeri Mutt of Shankaracharya.
ఈ 8 బ్రాంచెస్ ఏంటి ప్రభుజీ?
ఈ 8 branches ఏంటి అంటే 8 devotees Mataji who helped Sri Madhavendra Puri in expanding his mission.
ఓకే. సో మరి వాళ్ళందరూ మాధవేంద్ర పురి అండర్ కి వచ్చిండ్రు అని చెప్పారు కదా?
yes. They all came. అంటే మాతాజీ వాళ్ళ గిరి అలా మొత్తం 8 టైటిల్స్ ఉంటాయి వాళ్ళకి. అట్లా మన వీళ్ళందరూ ఏంటంటే పాపం ఇది వరకు శృంగేరి మఠ్ నుంచి లేకపోతే మధ్వ సంప్రదాయం కాదు, దాన్ని ఏమంటారు, మన శంకర సంప్రదాయం నుంచి ఇనిషియేషన్ తీసుకున్న వాళ్ళు అనమాట. వాళ్ళు ఎంతైనా ఇనిషియేషన్ తీసుకొని మాతాజీ, బట్ వాళ్ళు ఏంటంటే కల్చరల్ ఆస్పెక్ట్ ఉంటది, మనం తీర్థయాత్రలు అన్ని తిరగాలి అని. అలా తిరిగి వచ్చినప్పుడు మాధవేంద్ర పురిని కలిసిన వాళ్ళు అనమాట వీళ్ళు. కలిసాక వాళ్ళతో ఆయనతో ఇన్స్పైర్ అయిపోయి ఇక్కడ ఉండిపోయారు ఇంకా. బట్ దే ఆర్ సో హంబుల్ that they don't want to take their Mayapuri, that Mayavadi name also. ఎందుకంటే they wanted the whole world know that we came from that sampradaya, but we got inspired by this. Let my name be called by what I was earlier. అందరికి తెలియాలి నేను అంత తక్కువ అని వాళ్ళ పేరు
మార్చుకోలేదు వాళ్ళ నేమ్స్ మత్వా కింద.
they are so humble in that Prabhuji, Mataji. They are not arrogant in that. They are very humble that let people know what I was earlier.
అయినా కూడా నాకు మాధవేంద్ర పురి షెల్టర్ ఇచ్చారు అని.
yes Mataji, that is how these 8 people, now 8 people ఇందాక డిస్క్రైబ్ చేశారు కదా మొత్తం, ఈ కేశవ్ భారతి వీళ్ళందరూ. సో వీళ్ళు 8 రూట్స్ అన్నమాట. వాళ్ళ ద్వారానే ఒక ఆయన ఈశ్వరపురి వచ్చారన్నమాట. వీళ్ళలో ఒక ఆయన ఈశ్వరపురి.
ఓకే, అదే వాళ్ళే కదా 8 రూట్స్ అంటున్నా.
yes ma, 8 disciples are 8 roots Mataji.
yes okay Prabhu, thank you.
Welcome Mataji.
Yeah we'll read some more, then another couple of minutes and we'll go to slokas. Chadan Prabhu, Lalit Mohan Prabhu.
From each branch grew many hundreds of sub branches. No one can count how many branches thus grew. I shall try to name the foremost of the innumerable branches. Please hear the description of Chaitanya tree. At the top of the tree, at the top of the tree, the trunk branched into 2. One trunk was named Sri Advaita Prabhu and the other Sri Nityananda Prabhu. From these 2 trunks grew many branches and sub-branches that covered the entire world. These branches and sub-branches and their sub-branches became so numerous that no one can actually write about them. Thus, the disciple and the grand disciples and their admirers spread throughout the entire world, and it is not possible to enumerate them all.
Spread out on yes. Complete ending. Then we will stop here.
As a big fig tree bears fruits all over its body, each part of the tree of devotional service bore fruit. Purport. This tree of devotional service is not of this material world. It grows in the spiritual world, where there is no distinction between one part of the body and another. It is something like a tree of sugar, for which for whichever part of such a tree one tastes, it is always sweet. The tree of bhakti has varieties of branches, leaves, and fruits, but they are all meant for the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are 9 different processes of devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanived. But all of them are meant only for the service of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, whether one hears, chants, remembers, or worships, his activities will yield the same result. Which one of these processes will be most suitable for a particular devotee depends upon his taste.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, we'll stop here. Yeah, thank you, Thank you for sharing that info, Prabhu. I don't know that much.
సో ప్రభుజీ ఒకసారి చైతన్య చరితామృతంలో వస్తుంది అంగ ఉపాంగ వస్తుంది. సో ఉపాంగాలు అంటే వీళ్ళ నుండి వచ్చిన వీళ్ళే ఏం ప్రభుజీ?
వీళ్ళ ఫ్యామిలీ ట్రీ ప్రభు మాతాజీ, వీళ్ళ ఫ్యామిలీ అండ్ డిస్ప్లిట్ ట్రీ ఆల్సో
ఉపాంగాలు. ఓకే
ప్రభు, ఇప్పుడు కేశవ భారతి నుంచి తీసుకోలేదు కదా ఇనిషియేషన్, మరి ఇక్కడ మన పర్పోర్ట్ లో ఆఫర్డ్ సన్యాస ఆర్డర్ అని ఉంది కదా ప్రభు, సో ఈశ్వర్పూర్ నుంచి తీసుకున్నారు కదా?
ఈశ్వరపురి నుంచి దీక్ష తీసుకున్నారు మాతాజీ, హరినామ దీక్ష తీసుకున్నారు చైతన్య మహాప్రభు. సన్యాసి దండ తీసుకున్నది కేశవానంద భారతి, కేశవ భారతి దగ్గర నుంచి.
ఈ కేశవ
ఆయన సన్యాసి దండ ఇచ్చారనమాట.
అచ్చా, సో కేశవ భారతి కన్వర్టెడ్ అంటే
హీ వాస్ ఏ ఎర్లియర్ వాట్ ఈస్ ఏ మన శంకర సంప్రదాయం నుంచి, బట్ లేటర్ గాట్ ఇన్స్పైర్డ్ ఫ్రమ్ మాధవేంద్రపురి అండ్ టేకెన్ హిస్ షెల్టర్.
అండ్ ఈజ్ దట్ 8 మంది 9 మంది
వీళ్ళు 8 మంది ఉన్నారు మొత్తం టీం. వీళ్ళు వాళ్ళల్లో మెయిన్ ఆయన ఈశ్వరపురి అన్నమాట.
ఓకే ఓకే. మరి ఈ క్వశ్చన్ ప్రభు, ఈశ్వరపురి దగ్గర ఎందుకు సన్యాస ఆర్డర్ తీసుకోలేదు? I don't know the reason, but
no. Actually, Keshav Bharati wanted to offer. He wanted to offer some service to Mahaprabhu. So he has done this. And Mahaprabhu, being very humble and being taking the form of devotee, he accepted whoever has given. But he also wanted to, exchange something from Keshav Bharati. Because Keshav Bharati has, Supreme Soul is inside Namata Prabhuji. So Keshav Bharati's soul got inspired to do some service to Mahaprabhu.
Acha, okay.
And Mahaprabhu, knowing this, accepted it. But in the other way around, by reading all this Chaitanya Charitamrita, we come to know that he is a guru. Keshav Bharati is taking the role of a guru by giving sannyasi danda to Mahaprabhu. But inside him, he is like, I wanted to serve, my God in this way. He exchanges కొంచెం complicated ఉంటాయి ప్రభుజీ, but we can understand only when we dwell into it.
అందుకే he came as Sandipani Muni అని చెప్పారు.
Yes. Sandipani Muni also, the blessing which he gives, it is said that it is the best blessing where a guru can give to a disciple. Like always, the Vedic knowledge should be fresh in your mind to both, like Krishna and Balarama. Now, he did not bless everyone like that. He blessed only these two. Because that is the only thing which a guru can give at the utmost to the disciples, actually. To be always, to give that, to be the knowledge always afresh.
వాళ్ళు అంటే తెలుస్తుంది కదా, గురువులకు తెలుస్తుంది కదా వీళ్ళు రైట్ క్యాండిడేట్ ఫర్ గివింగ్ అనేదా?
No, Prabhuji. Actually, the gurus know what is the best which I can offer to my Lord. So that they offer to these two.
Okay.
No guru offered like that, Prabhuji. If you see, the disciples, they will be satisfied by the disciples and they will pray for the disciples, but they will not bless disciples that they should always remain afresh for you. This only Sandipani Muni gave, actually. And it is said that is the best, what you say, the benediction. Best benediction a guru can offer till now.
Okay. Yes, Prabhu, thank you. So here మీరు చేయండి ప్రభు శ్లోకాలు.
సో ఈ మాధవేంద్రపురి కూడా శంకర సంప్రదాయం ప్రభుజీ కదా?
Prabhuji, actually he is from Madhva Sampradaya. But Prabhuji, మనం ఇక్కడ అనుకున్నంత స్ట్రిక్ట్ గా ఉండేది కాదు ప్రభుజీ ఇది వరకు. అంటే నువ్వు ఒకసారి మాధవేంద్రపురికి వెళ్ళిపోయావంటే, నువ్వు ఒకసారి ఏంటంటే దాన్ని ఇంపర్సనలిజంకి వెళ్ళిపోయావనుకో, నిన్ను చీడపురుగులాగా చూసేవారు కాదు ప్రభుజీ. యా, యూ మైట్ గాట్ ఇన్స్పైర్డ్ బై దెమ్. ఓకే, వాట్ ఈస్ దేర్ ఇన్ దట్? తర్వాత ఇక్కడ ఈ గుళ్ళోకి వచ్చి, ఈ మఠంలోకి వచ్చి ఇప్పుడు మీరు మళ్ళీ దీనికి ఇన్స్పైర్ అయ్యారు అనుకోండి, మీరు దీంట్లో కూడా సన్యాసం తీసుకోవచ్చు. ప్రభు, దట్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఫ్రీ సొసైటీ ప్రభు. ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ లైక్ వాట్ వీ థింక్ నౌ. లైక్ మీరు చూసారనుకోండి, హంపీలో, మన హంపీ తెలుసా ప్రభుజీ? కృష్ణదేవరాయస్ మెయిన్ కింగ్డమ్. అక్కడ మీకు 3 టెంపుల్స్ ఉంటాయి ప్రభు. ఒకటి యంత్రోద్దాయ హనుమాన్, అది ఎవరిది? శ్రీ సంప్రదాయ టెంపుల్ ప్రభు. ఇంకొకటి విరూపాక్ష టెంపుల్, అది ఎవరిదంటే మన శంకరాచార్య వాళ్ళ టెంపుల్ అది. ఇంకొకటి మధ్వాచార్య టెంపుల్ ఉంటుంది అక్కడ. సో 3 సంప్రదాయాలు మీకు ఒకే టెంపుల్. కోదండరామ్ టెంపుల్ ఉంటుంది ఒకటి, మధ్వాచార్యది, మధ్వాచార్య వాళ్ళది. సో దే ఆర్ ఆల్ టుగెదర్ ప్రభుజీ అండర్ ద ప్యాట్రనేజ్ ఆఫ్ ద కింగ్. అండ్ దే ఆర్ ఆల్ వాట్ ఈస్ ఏ, దే యూస్ టు హ్యావ్ ఎ గుడ్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్. అండ్ వాళ్ళకి వెరీ క్లియర్ గా తెలుసు వాళ్ళ బౌండరీస్ ఏంటో. ఎవరు బౌండరీస్ ఎవరు క్రాస్ చేసేవారు కాదు ప్రభుజీ. ఇది ఎప్పుడు తర్వాత దారుణంగా అయిపోయింది ప్రభుజీ. ఇది యాక్చువల్లీ ఏంటంటే లేటర్ టైమ్స్ నా ఇట్ హెస్ బికమ్ లైక్ వాట్ ఈస్ ఏ, వెన్ ఇట్ కమ్ టు ద నార్త్ వి సీ ఇన్ వాట్ ఈస్ ఏ, ఏంటి ప్రభుజీ, వారణాసి. The Brahmanas, they became so arrogant by taking this what you say, Shankaracharya's philosophy, that they become very what to say, far away from the masses, general masses. That is how Mahaprabhu has come, and he said, leave all those things, just chant the name of the Lord, which is accessible to everyone. ఇప్పుడు మీరు యాక్చువల్లీ ఫిలాసఫీకి డీప్ గా వెళ్ళిపోయారు అనుకోండి, నాట్ ఎవ్రీవన్ కెన్ కనెక్ట్ టు దట్. And that is what happened in the, what you say, this Varanasi, which is the hotbed of all the Hindu sampradaya, like Hinduism. So that is how Mahaprabhu has come again to the Varanasi, and he again formed disciples over there. And then on the way to Vrindavan, what he did, and he has given 11 days upanyasa to all this Rupa and Sanatana, where in again Varanasi only. Because he wanted to say that bhakti is more than all these things. He is a very strategist, Prabhuji. Mahaprabhu is a very strategist actually. ఎక్కడెక్కడ ఎవరెవరిని కొట్టాలో అక్కడ కొట్టేసి వెళ్ళిపోయింది అనమాట. ఒకే రోజు 14,000 మంది 12,000 మంది డిసైపుల్స్ మొత్తం ఈ వాట్ ఇస్ ఇంపర్సనలిజం నుంచి పర్సనలిజం తీసుకురావడం. హీఈస్ ఎ వెరీ డిఫరెంట్ లెవెల్ ప్రభుజీ. హీఈస్ గాడ్, సో హీ నోస్ వెల్ వేర్ టు డూ, వాట్ టు డూ, హౌ టు డూ.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Sri Chaitanya Gauranga Ki Jai. That's why he is a supreme Lord. He knows everything. ఎక్కడెక్కడ మీరు అన్నట్టు ఎక్కడెక్కడ కుట్టాలో, ఎక్కడెక్కడ చేయాలో మీరు చేయండి ఈరోజు ప్రభు. ఈ శ్లోకాలు చేయండి ఒకసారి.
Prabhuji, someone who is learning, let them do, Prabhuji, rather than me doing.
Okay. ఎవరు చేస్తారు హరి బోల్ టుడే?
అకించన్ ప్రభుజీ చేస్తారు ప్రభుజీ.
అకించన్ ప్రభు కూడా చేశాడు, మీరు చేయండి. ఇంకెవరున్నారు ఈ వారంలో? మీరు చేశారా ప్రభు?
నేను చేస్తా ప్రభుజీ, 2 times చేశాను నేను. చేయమంటే చేస్తాను ప్రభుజీ, నేను చేస్తాను.
మీరిద్దట్లో ఎవరో ఒకటి సార్ కానీ
ప్రభుజీ is not responding, so I'm deciding ప్రభుజీ.
చేయండి.
భగవద్గీత 13.22 పురుష ప్రకృతిస్థో హి భుంక్తే ప్రకృతి చాన్ గుణాన్ కారణం గుణ సంగోస్య సత్ అసత్ యోని జన్మసు. Translation: the living entity in material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the 3 modes of nature. This is the due to his association with that material nature. Thus he meets with good and evil among various species. Bhagavad Gita 13.23 ఉపరదుష్ట అనుమంత చ భర్త భోక్త మహేశ్వర పరమాత్మేతి చాప్యుక్తో దేహేస్మిన్ పురుష పరః. Translation: yet in this body there is another, a transcendental enjoyer, who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor, who exists as the overseer and permitter, and who is known as the super soul. Bhagavad Gita 14.26. Mam chayo vavicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatitaithyan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Translation: one who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, it once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. Bhagavad Gita 15.7. Mamaivamsho jivaloke jivabhuta sanatanaha manastastani indriyani prakrutistani karshati. Translation: the living entities in the conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. Bhagavad Gita 15.15. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto matta smritirgnanam apohanam cha vedesha sarver ahameva vedyo vedanta krudveda videva chaham. Translation: I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am knower of the Vedas. Bhagavad Gita 18.54. Brahma bhuta prasannatma nasochati nakangshati samasarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labate param. Translation: one who is thus transcendently situated in one at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed toward every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. Bhagavad Gita 18.55. Bhaktyamam abhijanati yavan yaschasmatattvatah tato mam tattvato gnatva vishate tad anantaram. Translation: one can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of me by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. Bhagavad Gita 18.65. Manmanavo madbhakto madhyajimam namaskuru mam evashyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. Translation: always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus, you will come to me without fail. I promise you that because you are my very dear friend. Bhagavad Gita 18.66. Sarva dharmanu parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami masuchaha. Translation: abandon all varieties of religion and surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear.
చదవండి without looking.
చూసుకుంటే
డివోషన్ చేయండి.
భక్తి రసామిత సింధు 1.11. అన్యాభిలాషిత శూన్యం జ్ఞాన కర్మాది అనావృతం అనుకుల్లేన కృష్ణస్ను శీలనం భక్తిరుత్తమ. అనుకుల్లేన కృష్ణస్ను శీలనం భక్తిరుత్తమ. Translation: Krishnanushilanam, Anukullena Krishnanushilanam Bhakti Uttama. When first class devotional service develops, one must be devoid of all material desires, knowledge obtained by monastic philosophy, and fruitive action. The devotee must constantly serve Krishna favorably as Krishna desires. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.12. Sarvobhadi Vinirmuktam Tatparvartena Nirmalam Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. Bhakti or devotional service means engaging all our senses in the service of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of all the senses. When the spirit soul renders service unto the Supreme, there are two side effects. One is free from all material designations, and simply by being employed in the service of the Lord, one's senses are purified. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.234. अतः श्री कृष्ण नामादि न भवेत् ग्रह्यम् इंद्रियात् सेवोन्मुक्ते जीवादु स्वयं एव स्फुरति हतः. Because Krishna's form, qualities, pastime, etc., are all on absolute platform. Material senses cannot therefore appreciate them. When a conditioned soul is awakened to Krishna consciousness and render service by using his tongue to chant the Lord's holy name and taste the remnants of the Lord's food, the tongue is purified and gradually comes to understand the Krishna's who Krishna really is. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.255 अनासक्त्यस्य विषयान् यथार्हम् उपयुञ्जतः निर्बन्ध कृष्ण संबंधे युक्तं वैराग्यम उच्यते. When one is not attached to anything but at the same time accepts anything in relation to Krishna, one is rightly situated above possessiveness. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhav. Yes. Anybody? Mata, is there anyone wants to do? You lost.
Chemantara Prabhuji. 13.22 Purusha prakristho hi bhunte prakritijan gunan karanam guna sangosya sad asadyoni janmasu. The living entity in material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with that material nature. Thus he meets with good and evil among various species. 13.23 Upadrashtanumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwara paramatmeti chapyukto dehesmin purusha para. Translation: Yet in this body there is another, a transcendental enjoyer, who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor, who exists as the overseer and permitter, and who is known as the supersoul. 14.26 Mam chayo vyabicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Translation: One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. 15.7 Mamaivamsho jivaloke jivabhuta sanatana manashashtanindriyani prakritisthani karshati. Translation: The living entities in the conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. 15.15 Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mattah smritirjnanamohanam cha vedaischa sarvairahameva vedyo vedanta kritveda vid eva chaham. Translation: I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. 18.54 Brahma bhuta prasannatma na shochati na kakshati samah sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labhate param. Translation: One who is thus transcendently situated at once realizes the supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed towards every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. 18.55 Bhaktya mamabhijanati yavan yaschashmi tattvataha tato mam tattvato gyatva vishate tad anantaram. Translation: One can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of me by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. 18.65 Manmana bhava madbhakto madjimam namaskuru mame vaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosime. Translation: Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. 18.66 Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shucha. Translation: Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear.
చదవండి మాత వితౌట్ లుకింగ్.
Without looking.
చేస్తారా?
Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulena krishnanushilanam bhaktiruchyate.
భక్తిరుత్తమ.
Bhaktiruttama.
ట్రాన్స్లేషన్ చదువుకోండి మరి. ఇట్స్ ఓకే.
When first-class devotional service develops, one must be devoid of all material desires, knowledge obtained by monastic philosophy, and fruitive action. The devotee must constantly serve Krishna favorably as Krishna desires. Next is Gurtile Prabhuji.
ట్రై చేయండి ఒకసారి. ఫస్ట్ లైన్ ట్రై చేయండి.
Sarvopadhi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam
సేమ్ అంతే.
Rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhaktiruchyate.
వచ్చేసింది ఇంకేం.
Vachinda? Okay. Bhakti or devotional service means engaging all our senses in the service of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the master of all senses. When the spirit soul renders service unto the Supreme, there are two side effects. One is freed from all material designations, and simply by being employed in the service of the Lord, one's senses are purified.
ఫస్ట్ లైన్ అత శ్రీకృష్ణ.
అత శ్రీకృష్ణ నామాది న భవేత్ గ్రాహ్యమింద్రియై సేవోన్ముఖే హి జిహ్వాదో స్వయం ఏవ స్ఫురత్యదా.
నైస్.
కరెక్టా?
కరెక్ట్.
That is care of Lit Mohan Prabhu's. Yeah. Because Krishna's form, qualities, pastimes, etc. are all on the absolute platform, material senses cannot therefore appreciate them. When a conditioned soul is awakened to Krishna consciousness and renders service by using his tongue to chant the Lord's holy name and taste the remnants of the Lord's food, the tongue is purified and one gradually comes to understand who Krishna really is.
థ్యాంక్ యూ మాధవ్. ఇది కూడా ట్రై చేయండి.
Anasaktasya vishayan यथार्हम उपयुञ्जता निर्बन्ध कृष्ण संबंधे प्रतिजाने प्रियोसी मे.
युक्तं वैराग्యం. భగవద్గీత షిఫ్ట్ అయ్యారా?
కొత్తగా ఉంది మాతో ఈ శ్లోకం చేద్దాం.
ఈ టెక్నిక్ ఏదో బాగుంది ప్రభుజీ.
యుక్తం వైరాగ్యం వచ్చేది.
కృష్ణ సంబంధి యుక్తం వైరాగ్యం వచ్చేది. ఓ లాస్ట్ లైన్ పోయిందన్నమాట. ఓకే, వాట్ డిడ్ ఐ సే? నేనేమన్నాను?
ప్రతిజానే ప్రియోసిమే. భగవద్గీత రీమిక్స్ చేశారు. మళ్ళీ సరే ట్రై చేయండి.
అనాసక్తస్య విషయాన్. ఇప్పుడు మీకు నా గజని ఎలా ఉంటారో తెలుస్తుంది, ఎందుకంటే నేను మర్చిపోయి ఉంటాను. ఓకే,
అందరి పరిస్థితి అట్లే, అందరం గజనీలమేనా, అందుకే ఇక్కడ ఉన్నాం.
అనాసక్తస్య విషయాన్ యథార్హం ఉపయుంజత నిర్బంధ కృష్ణ సంబంధే యుక్తం వైరాగ్యముచ్యతే. కరెక్టా?
అంతే అంతే.
When one is not attached to anything, but at the same time accepts anything in relation to Krishna, one is rightly situated above possessiveness.
So thank you very much, Matai. So next Monday onwards, we'll do without looking slokas. Translation we will read. That is the plan. Okay?
Yes, Prabhu. Even for Bhagavad Gita, we need to do this.
Yeah, we will do that in the Bhagavad Gita.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yeah, Subbarao Prabhu, ఇప్పుడు జాయిన్ అయ్యారు. సారీ ప్రభు, అయిపోయింది ప్రభు కాల్.
హరే కృష్ణ. అయినో ప్రభు సార్, పొద్దు ఆఫీస్కి రావాల్సి వచ్చింది, ట్రాఫిక్ లో చిక్కుపడ్డా, ఇప్పుడే వచ్చాను. సరే,
నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ నుంచి మేము వితౌట్ లుకింగ్ శ్లోకాలు చేస్తున్నాం ప్రభు. మీరు
రామా
ప్రభు ఆయన చూస్ చేయనివ్వండి ప్రభుజీ. అంటే మనం ఎక్కడి నుంచో కాల్ లో ఉన్నాం కదా, సో వీ కెన్ ట్రై, బట్ లెట్ హిమ్ ట్రై బై సీయింగ్.
అదే అంటే
చూసే చదవలేకపోతున్నాను, కష్టం లేదు
మీకు కాదు ప్రభు. మేము గత నెల అవుతుంది అనుకుంటా, ఓన్లీ క్లోజ్ 1 month అవుతుంది మేము చదివి ఉన్నాం. అట్లీస్ట్ శ్లోకాలన్నీ నాకు రావాలి ఇప్పటికి. సో
ఓకే
మీరు ఏంటి ప్రభు, మీరు చూసే చేయండి, జస్ట్ కిడ్డింగ్, అదేం లేదు.
Prabhuji, what I say, Prabhuji, like నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ నుంచి ప్రభుజీ యాక్చువల్లీ ఒక్క శ్లోక ప్రభు, పెద్ద శ్లోక భాగవతం చదువుదాం ప్రభుజీ. అప్పుడు ఈ 4 లైన్లు ఎంత చిన్నగా అనిపిస్తే చూద్దాం ప్రభుజీ ఒకసారి. అంటే మన రీడింగ్ క్లాస్ ఉంటది కదా, అందులో ఒకటి భాగవతం శ్లోక చదువుదాం ప్రభుజీ. లైక్ వీ విల్ రిసైట్ కంప్లీట్లీ. అది 8:30 లోపు చేద్దాం, తర్వాత 8:30 నుంచి ఇదే పెడదాం ప్రభు. బట్ ఆ స్టడీస్ లో ఒక్క భాగవతం శ్లోక చదువుదాం ప్రభుజీ. అంటే డిఫరెంట్ ట్యూన్స్ వస్తాయి కదా అందరికి, అందుకు ఆ శ్లోక చదివితే ఇవి చాలా చిన్నగా అనిపిస్తాయి ప్రభుజీగా.
అది నేర్పియండి.
అది నేర్పించి, అది ఎట్లా ఉంటాయంటే ఒక ఫ్లోలో ఉంటది, పాటలా ఉంటాయి అవి. ఆ మొత్తం 7 ట్యూన్స్ వచ్చేస్తే ఇంక ఇవన్నీ చాలా ఈజీ అన్నమాట, ఇవన్నీ కూడా.
అదే మీకోసం వెయిటింగ్. అది ఆ ట్యూన్ నాకు డాక్యుమెంట్ పంపించారు, బట్ ట్యూన్స్ పంపించండి ప్రభు. సో లెట్ us షేర్ ఇన్ అవర్ గ్రూప్ సో దట్ వి విల్ లర్న్. నేర్చుకుందాం, మంచిగా నేర్చుకుందాం ప్రభు.
ఓకే ప్రభుజీ.
మాలాంటి కోసం చూసి చదవడం నేర్పండి ప్రభు చాలు.
హరే కృష్ణ.
అవి నేర్చుకుంటే ఇవి మర్చిపోం కదా, ఈ 13.
వేరే లెవెల్ ఉంటాయి అందరూ శ్లోకాల మిక్స్
ఏంటమ్మా అంటాడు ప్రభుజీ.
ఇంకో పని చేయొచ్చు, భాగవతం when we are learning, no, the whole week we'll concentrate on one shloka so that we can learn the tune and the shloka also. And
we don't really need to learn the by heart Bhagavatam shlokas, but the tune is more important, as Lalit Mohan Prabhu is suggesting. Probably reading habit should come.
That will come Prabhuji. Means daily, like Giriraj Prabhu is doing this, na? So one day everyone can read any shloka in any tune. That is the main this one. And that is not the goal. The goal is reading, the making of habit of reading.
Yes.
But ఇవన్నీ ఏంటంటే just like masala.
Learn the tunes different.
Yes.
సో ఆ రకంగా గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. ఇప్పుడు చూడండి, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ దీపామాతని నేను సడన్ గా చూడకుండా చెప్పుకున్నా. అత్త శ్రీకృష్ణ గుర్తుపెట్టుకుంది. అత్త శ్రీకృష్ణ ఒక పాటలా గుర్తుపెట్టుకుంది, అదే గుర్తుకొచ్చింది. చూసారా? దట్ ఈస్ ద సబ్ కాన్షియస్ గా వర్క్ అయ్యేది అట్లాంటి ట్యూన్సే ప్రభు. మేమేందంటే ఇక బట్టి విధానం, సో అట్లా అలవాటు అయిపోయింది. బట్ ఇట్స్ ఓకే, లెట్ us learn different tunes and whichever comfortable, let us.
But that we keep that in 8:30 call Prabhuji, till 8:30 wala. 8:30 to 9 let us focus on examination part of you.
Yeah,
but till that we will do this.
We'll do. Share those if you have that tunes ready, or if you want to recite those, please share.
I should recite and I should give it Prabhuji, because I learned it in that way. Like our base team learned it in that way. We don't have any what is like drives and all. Then అప్పట్లో మామూలు 1100 ప్రభు. ఇప్పుడు మేము చూస్తాం ప్రభుజీ. ఒకసారి నేను పాడి మీకు పంపిస్తాను, మీరు ఒకళ్ళు అనుకుంటే మీరు ఇప్పుడు గ్రూప్ లో పెట్టండి ప్రభుజీ. మనం పంపించిన శ్లోకాలు PDF ది ఒక్కొక్కటి పాడి ఒక డిఫరెంట్ ట్యూన్ లో పాడి మీకు పంపిస్తాను.
పంపేయండి. మరి మీరు వస్తున్నారా రేపు? ఏంటి పరిస్థితి?
లేదు ప్రభుజీ, షాప్ లో బేరం ఉంది ప్రభుజీ. మాది బుక్ సీజన్ ప్రభు. ఇప్పుడు బుక్ షాప్ ఒకటి, బట్టల షాప్ ఒకటి, అయ్యే సరిపోతుంది ప్రభుజీ. ఎప్పుడప్పుడు వస్తాను ప్రభు, విడిగా ఉన్న రోజుల్లో ప్రశాంతంగా కూర్చుని అందరితో మాట్లాడడానికి వస్తాను ప్రభు. ఇట్లా రాను, అందరూ హాయ్ బాయ్ బాయ్ వెళ్ళిపోతాం అంతే ప్రభు ఇప్పుడు వస్తే. ఓకే ప్రభుజీ. హరే కృష్ణ.
వాంఛాకల్పతరుభ్యశ్చ కృపా సింధుభ్య ఏవ చ పతితానాం పావనేభ్యో వైష్ణవేభ్యో నమో నమః. అనంత కోటి వైష్ణవ వృంద కీ జై. శిల ప్రభుపాద శిల గురుదేవ్ కీ జై. నితాయ్ గౌర హరి ప్రేమానందే. హరి హరి. Let us meet on Monday. Weekends లేవు కదా. ఓకే, హరే కృష్ణ.
హరే కృష్ణ.